Hi, welcome back to my channel. Today I am doing this look that I have on right now, and if you're seeing the title and thinking everyday fall makeup, have you gone insane? I am also showing it with a lighter lip. This is just kind of, it would be every day if you go from like daytime to nighttime, you're doing something fun in the evening and you want to spice up the makeup a little bit, you can just add a darker lip. So you'll see how it looks with the lighter lip later on in the video, and I really hope that you like it and that you would consider subscribing. Thank you so much for watching, and then just stay tuned to see how this happened. Okay, can you tell that my lips are super dry? It's really like the fall season coming in and messing up my skin. I'm gonna start with the MAC Strobe cream and just apply that all over my face, just because I need a little bit of a glow, and this is just nice for the skin. Give it a little bit of, I feel like it gives a little bit of hydration. It definitely feels kind of hydrating, and it also leaves my skin looking nice and glowy. And then instead of foundation, for once in my life pretty much, I'm going to use a BB cream, and this is just a mini size from Isadora that I have. Most of the products that I'm going to be using today, I've actually never used this one, I just took the sticker off. Most of the things I'm going to be using today are from Isadora, and Isadora quite recently came to, how is this color? Walgreens in the US, and in Norway where I live, you can get it pretty much everywhere, like H&M and all sorts of stores. I'm also using a new sponge, and this one feels hard. It's the Beige Cosmetics Studio Pro sponge. I don't think I like it, but we'll see. So Isadora is now at Walgreens, and you can also get it at Feel Unique, at least in the rest of the world. I'm not sure. I couldn't see Isadora on the Feel Unique US website, so it might not be on there. It might be a Walgreens exclusive. But for the rest of at least Europe, Isadora is pretty easily accessible. Wow, this sponge is just absolutely awful. I feel like I'm hurting myself, but it's actually the only one I have right now. So yeah, I'm going to be using a lot of Isadora products. It's a brand that I really like. I've liked most of the things that I've tried from them, actually. Okay, so I'm tempted to layer this BB cream a lot because I'm used to more coverage, but I'm not going to do that because this is supposed to be like a really simple, not too much, everyday fall makeup look, and I have to realize that not everyone likes to go with a big, like, heavy layer of full coverage foundation every day. So we're just gonna leave it at this, and I'm gonna have to put on some concealer. So I'm gonna use the Isadora Cover Up Long Wear Cushion Concealer. I did actually remove the cushion on it though. It's kind of hard to open. So now mine only has a little tip like this. I thought it was empty for a while there. I do have some like darker spots, and I also like to conceal like around my nose because I always have some redness over there. And I'm going to use a different concealer under my eyes. I'm just gonna apply this where I feel like I need a little more coverage, not covering enough. Is it the sponge that just kind of keeps removing product? I'm not sure, but I definitely feel like I have very little coverage on my face right now. So the BB cream might be nicer applied with the fingers actually. I'm not a huge fan of applying cream products with my fingers. I just find that I don't like the feeling on my fingers. So that's why I'm not doing that. I'm gonna pretend that I like the coverage that I have right now, and I'm gonna go on to the concealer under my eyes, and I actually have a brand new MAC Waterweight concealer here, and I've had this one before in a different shade, and it's just a really nice, it's kind of really thin but still high coverage. So it looks like I'm applying a lot of product, but it's just because it's so thin, so it kind of spreads out really easily. And this color looks perfect for my under eyes, and this will also give me a little extra coverage. So I'm just gonna go in with it. Apply a little more, kind of everywhere. Isadora actually just came out with a loose powder, but since I'm trying to buy less makeup and not have 100 million powders, I just set my under eyes off camera, and I'm gonna use a little bit of MAC Mineralize Skinfinish just to kind of set the BB cream very, very lightly, just so that the powder products will slide on a little nicer afterwards. The bronzer and contour products I'm going to be using today are these Isadora face sculptures. I have the shades 03 Nude and 11 Natural Bronze, and the 03 Nude is actually really nice as it has a contour, a warmer bronzer, and then it has this light powder. The light powder, it's kind of too natural to be a highlighter and a little too shimmery to be used under the eyes, so it's kind of an in-between product, which makes it a little bit difficult to work with, I think. But the contour is really nice, so I kind of tend to forget about it a little bit, but every time I use it, I'm quite impressed. It's just a nice shade for contouring, and it's not too dark, not too light for my fair skin tone at least, but it's also buildable, so I think you would be able to, like, if you're darker than I am, you should be able to build it up to a slightly darker contour. So I'm also going to use the bronzer. I'm not 100% sure if I should use, I mean, these two, the shade like on the far left, right, they are kind of similar, and then this 11 Natural Bronze also has a lighter bronzer, and it has a really nice pink shimmery highlighter. So I'm gonna use a mix of the two bronzer shades in this one, just so that I get a pretty light application of bronzer. I don't want it to be too much. Like, summer is unfortunately over, and so are the days of like crazy bronzing. At least for me. Well, I do still use quite a lot of bronzer. So, something like that. I just quickly did my brows off camera. I had to change my memory card, and I just put a little bit of this contour shade in my brows, and also a little bit of brow gel. And then I'm going to use the highlight shade in this face sculpture kit, and then go in with blush afterwards. So just adding a little bit of this. I don't want it to be too glowy. I already have a little bit of glow underneath, so just like a tiny bit of glow on the top of the cheekbones, so that now when I apply my blush, this is Isadora Perfect Blush in the color Frosty Rose, and this is just a really nice kind of like fall blush, I think. I have had some of these perfect blushes from Isadora before. I did have quite a lot of those, and I don't have that many left because I just had so many like repeats of shades. But this one I've always kept, and they do have some other really nice ones as well. This one has a sheen in it. It's not really, let me just do a quick swatch. It's not shimmery or anything, but it has a sheen. So it's like a brownie color, but it's at the same time, it's almost like brownie plum. I don't know, I feel like it's a unique shade. So that's pretty much the face done. I'm going to move over to eyes, and I'm just gonna do a really simple look using MAC eyeshadows. And the MAC eyeshadows that I chose for this look are just some staples, I feel like. And it's these 6 right here. So this is Shroom, All That Glitters, and Cranberry, which is just... Let's try that again. So, Shroom, All That Glitters, and Cranberry, which I was going to say is the perfect fall eyeshadow. And then I have Orb, which I've used a lot, and then Kid and Deep Damson, which is also such a good eyeshadow from MAC. So these are some of my favorite eyeshadows. I was thinking I might do like a favorite MAC eyeshadow video, but I'm not sure how many people would be interested in that, so I just kind of postponed it a little bit. But here's a little sneak peek of some favorites, and I'm just going to do something really, really simple. Not sure exactly what yet, but I think I have kind of an idea. Okay, so I just zoomed in a little bit, and I applied some primer to my lids, and then I'm going to need a mirror to do this. Let me find one. So the first shade that I'm going to be using is the Orb shade, which is just that light cream, my skin tone type of shade, and I'm just kind of applying this under my brows, so from my brows and down to my crease, not in my crease, but kind of just where I don't want my crease color to go. I will just apply this one. It's just kind of helps. I don't like setting my entire base, but I do like setting this area just so that I don't get any of the darker colors in that area, like around where I actually want them. So I'm then just going to, do I even have a clean, nice brush to do this with? I am going to start applying the shade called Kid, which is just a normal, like, light. It's not really brown. It's, what would you call this? It's kind of a camel color. But it's just the perfect, really neutral crease color. It doesn't have any like orange and it's not too cool toned either. It's just kind of in the middle. It's almost like a warm gray color. Wow, I'm terrible at explaining. But yeah, this is just going in the crease. That's what I'm trying to say. And then what I like to do if it gets a little bit messy is just use the same brush that I started with and just no extra product, but just kind of going over where I put the crease color, and this is a fairly light crease color, so it's not really a big deal. It won't get like super crazy messy or anything. It's kind of forgiving if you are not like super good at blending when you use lighter colors. But now I'm going to use the really dark plum color called Deep Damson, and now I need to be a little more careful, and I'm just going to place this in the outer corner and just kind of blend it up into the crease but not go too far. And if you think that this makes the look a little too dramatic, I would just skip this step and just go straight to the next one, and it would be a more wearable, lighter look. This certainly got a lot darker than I thought it would, but we're gonna roll with it, and I'm gonna apply the light shimmery shades on my lid. So I'm starting with All That Glitters, which has to be one of my absolute favorite MAC eyeshadows. It's not that it's unique, but it's always been a staple, and I've always had that eyeshadow kind of. It must have been one of the first eyeshadows that I ever bought that was kind of quality eyeshadow. And I'm just gonna place this almost all over the lid, but skipping the outer part that's kind of connected to the dark plum purple shade. And this is just such a nice, easy eyeshadow to work with if you're not like into eyeshadows and you just want something on your lid. It's the perfect bridal eyeshadow, and it just kind of works with anything, and it's really easy to just apply with a brush. There's no fallout, there's nothing I don't have any issues with this eyeshadow. So just using the same brush, I'm gonna flip it around and use Cranberry, which is that really, really nice, I would say purple, but it's not really, it's a cranberry color. It's also not super cool tone, not warm tone. It's just, it has a little bit of both, I feel like. And I'm just applying this kind of on top of the dark eyeshadow that we put down earlier and kind of fading it into the champagne color. This ended up being also much more cool tone that I'm used to and than I kind of anticipated. Well, I should have guessed I kind of have like cool tone eyeshadows in here, but I feel like they're not gray or like super, they don't have a lot of blue to them or anything, so I thought it would be more neutral, but on me might have something to do with my coloring. It kind of looks a little bit more cool tone. I'm just applying Shroom in my inner corner, just a really nice inner corner highlight. And normally I would probably put Cranberry and Deep Damson on my lower lash line as well, just kind of mimic what I have on my top lid, but I don't want this to be any more dramatic, so I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to leave it at this, and then I'm going to put on mascara, which I'm using a new one today. This is the MAC in Extra Dimension one, and I haven't tried this before, so I'm kind of curious to see how this is going to look. So this is the finished look without anything on the lips. I realize that this might be a lot darker, more smoky than what everyday makeup would be for most people. So I'm just gonna mention that with these colors, you could kind of just skip the bottom row, and then you would have a really wearable, just simple everyday quad, just kid in the crease, all that glitters on the lid, and Shroom in the inner corner. And then if you wanted a little more color, you could add Cranberry. And then if you want it as dark and smoky as I do for everyday, you could also add the darker purple. So I just find that these types of eyeshadows, they're kind of, these could be worn as like if you're a wedding guest or you're going somewhere you want to look kind of nice and put together, but you don't want it to be too colorful or too out there. And what I'm now going to show you is how you can kind of go from more like daytime appropriate, and like this is more like with a light lip, it's more wearable and more kind of dainty and cute. And then if you do a darker lip, it gets much more lampy and kind of edgy and cool. So I'm just going to show you two different lip options. The first one is this Isadora lipstick. It's the Perfect Moisture lipstick in the color Bare Beauty. And this is just, I need a mirror. This is just a really nice nude pink lipstick. It doesn't have, just has a little bit of pink in it, but it's more like a natural nude. And these lipsticks have the really like satisfying magnet closure. I love these. And my lips are really chapped and dry right now, but this feels super comfortable on the lips. And now the look is just kind of daytime appropriate and cute, I think. And this is it with a much darker lip. It gives off a very different vibe. It's more like, it's definitely more fall themed and kind of, it's a really fall appropriate look, but it can be a little too much for some people. But I really wanted to show you what it would look like with a darker lip. And for this one, I used the Isadora Sculpting Lip Liner Waterproof in the color Rosewood, and the Sculpting lipstick also in the shade Rosewood. These are just a really nice combo. And these, well, both of these, both the Sculpting Lip Liner and the Lip Desire Sculpting lipsticks, they are really, really nice lip products. I do really like, I like most of Isadora's lip products, and I'm just glad you can see how bad my lips are looking up close. From afar it looks quite good, but when I kind of look myself in the mirror up close, it looked awful. But here we are. This is the finished look. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you'll subscribe and to see more of my content. And if you liked it, please give this video a thumbs up. That would be a lot of fun for me, and I will see you later. Bye!